Hey guys, what is up? It is Astrolia KD9LFZ back at it again, and today we are wearing a sweatshirt. It is not a NASA sweatshirt, but it's a SpaceX sweatshirt. So, you know what that means. It's time to discuss some NASA news, space news, specifically, actually today, NASA news. It's the end of a year and the beginning of a new year. So, what are we going to be looking at today? We're going to be looking at some of what happened this year at NASA in the news. Crazy stuff. Some really cool things happened this year that I got to be a part of because I was paying a little bit more attention, which kind of wish I'd been doing that earlier, but I was here for some really cool things. Got to watch some really cool things live this year. Yeah, without any further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get right into it. So, here we are. They actually compiled a very helpful article about everything that happened in NASA this year. Now, as you can see, a lot happened. A lot happened this year. So, I'm just going to be going through, picking out some of the stuff that I think is most interesting, some of the stuff that I think is the most cool, and some of just the coolest things that happened this year at NASA. Of course, first of all, they go over some of the really big things that happened. 2020 astronauts launched from American soil to the International Space Station for the first time since 2011, since the space shuttle. Of course, that was the SpaceX Crew Dragon launch. I watched that live. Great launch. And since then we have, that was the demo one. Now we have the Crew one, which launched not that long ago. So very cool that astronauts are launching from American soil again. Also, another big launches this year happened with the Perseverance Mars rover, which is going to be landing pretty soon. It's almost done. Of course, I'm going to be very excited to watch that happen as well. It won't be live, but there will be video of it. So I am very excited to watch that. And then talking about the Artemis Accords, we talked about that in NASA news not that long ago, getting all the countries to work together internationally to sort of solidify what's going to be going on in space now that everybody's going there. And they also talk about OSIRIS-REx, something that really cool happened with that. They collected samples from the asteroid Bennu on October 20th, and we're going to be getting those samples back in 2023. And the James Webb Space Telescope is getting ready for its launch in 2021. They got a ton of work done on that this year, all really cool things. So, what is going on in Moon to Mars, or what did happen in 2021 for Moon to Mars? Lots of really cool things. SLS is getting all assembled. They're actually working on assembling the SRBs, the solid rocket boosters. Now they're working on getting the Artemis 1 mission ready for launch. They're getting Launch Pad 39B, and they're also starting to do some simulations on what that launch is going to look like and what's going to be going on with that, as well as preparing the Orion spacecraft for what's going on with Artemis 1, 2, 3, all things that are going to be happening. Artemis 1 I know for sure is going to be happening in 2021. And then another really big thing that happened was they awarded contracts to three companies, Blue Origin, Dynetics, and SpaceX, for HLS, the Human Landing System, what they're actually going to use to land on the moon with people in it. I'm not surprised to see SpaceX there. Similar thing happened with the Crew Dragon. They got awarded a contract to produce a vehicle that would be able to do this. They went through the certification process, and now we have the capability to launch crew from American soil to the International Space Station. And SpaceX is doing it again, and Blue Origin and Dynetics are also working on those contracts for HLS, so I assume we are going to be seeing some cool things happen in 2021, getting those systems to start working, to start being tested. Of course, all really cool things happening along with that. And then we also talked a couple a couple NASA newses ago about what was going on with the agreements with international partners for the Gateway. So we have ESA providing the habitation module and CSA, Canadian Space Agency, providing the Canadarm. Of course, other really big things that happened with astronauts this year, we had an astronaut graduating class. That was super exciting to watch, and there was another astronaut selection process, which had apparently 12,000 applications, which is absolutely insane. So that's something big that's going to be coming up in 2021. They're going to be going through those applications, starting to go through that interview process, and maybe we'll even see, well, hopefully we'll see who's going to be actually selected for the class in 2021. And that's going to be super exciting to see the next generation of astronauts. The last astronaut class graduated, and now there's actually quite a few of them that are in the Artemis generation, those that were selected to go to the moon. And that's only going to continue. That obviously that's the main thing that they're focusing on in the future, and that's what they're going to have the astronauts focus on if they get selected. And of course, they are working hard on all of the technologies that are going to be going to the moon, doing things on the moon. All around this year, NASA has really just been working on getting the Artemis mission ready. Of course, we're trying to land on the moon by 2024, so we do need to get a lot of progress done, but we have seen quite a bit happen this year alone. We talked a little bit about Mars 2020. There's another NASA News video about that. The Ingenuity helicopter, the first aircraft to attempt flight outside of our planet, and a lot of really cool experiments, MOXIEs on the 2020 Perseverance rover, and of course a lot of really great technology for getting those samples, for getting those core samples, and for returning them back to Earth. That's all been really cool this year. So in 2020, the James Webb Space Telescope completed a number of rigorous tests to get it all ready to launch, hopefully in late 2021. In addition, Hubble Space Telescope celebrated its 30th anniversary in space, and it's still up there making really cool astronomical discoveries. And using the NASA's Airborne Observatory SOFIA, they discovered water on the sunlit side of the moon. It was previously only thought that water was in the shadowed portions of craters on the moon, but using SOFIA, they have discovered that there is water on the sunlit side of the moon, which could be a groundbreaking discovery for the Artemis mission. And a bunch of other really cool things, including the beginning of a new solar cycle 25. Of course, all the ham radio people probably know that that is a really big deal as far as propagation goes. As far as for humans in space in LEO, low Earth orbit, there was quite a few astronauts that lived and worked aboard the International Space Station this year, and one of them being Christina Koch, who completed the longest space flight for a woman, longest single space flight for a woman, which was really cool thing, as well as her and Jessica Meir's first all-woman space walk. That was a really cool thing to watch as well. I remember watching that at the beginning of this year, although I think that happened in 2019. Holy cow, I'm old. Oh no. No, but Christina Koch did complete the longest single space flight for a woman in 2020. In addition, a lot happened, of course, with NASA SpaceX, the Crew Dragon launch, the Crew 1 launch, Demo 1. And of course, Boeing is not far behind SpaceX with their Starliner. They're still getting all the certifications necessary to be able to fly humans on that vehicle. In flight, two major things that they were working on this year is the X-59 Quiet Supersonic Technology aircraft. They're working on continuing to build that and improve the technology for that. The idea being that you would have an aircraft that can be supersonic, but will only produce a minimal supersonic boom that will hopefully not even be audible from the ground, so that it can be used more in everyday life without disrupting too many people, and it can become a more available technology. And the X-57 Maxwell, the first all-electric plane that they are also continuing to do research on the technology behind that and getting it tested and flight ready. As far as space technology, NASA has done a lot this year to keep working on partnerships and contracts with private companies as well as public companies to keep working on the commercialization of space to help it become a more long-term sustainable thing, to include other people working on it and to include new technology. So a lot of contracts, a lot of partnerships, and a lot of working with smaller businesses and large businesses to create really helpful technologies for the future. So overall, a lot of really big, important things have happened this year, a lot of cool technology, a lot of really amazing launches to watch: the Mars 2020 rover, the Demo 1 mission, the Crew 1 mission, a lot of tests, a lot of scientific experiments, and a lot of really cool things happening aboard the International Space Station. So I hope you know a little bit more about what happened in 2020, and if you're interested in seeing what will happen in 2021, there's some cool things coming up then as well. So hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.